Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be about Battlefield 2042's Gunplay and DICE's strange journey throughout the release of the game to the middle portion of the game to right now, and I'm going to sort of walk you through what they did to, in my opinion, ruin the gunplay, at least partially. And it's funny because they sort of ruined the gunplay by trying to do the right thing to fix it. This all lies in their execution of how they actually went about it, and some massive oversights in how the game actually works compared to previous titles that I don't think were considered when they were trying to actually reduce the effective engagement ranges via all the spread changes that took place recently. And don't worry, this is not going to be a video of me just complaining about everything. It is going to be a video where I really try to explain what has happened and why I don't think DICE did as best of a job as they could have with Battlefield 2042's recent gunplay changes, even though I do agree with their premise. So be sure to hit the like button and, of course, subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for watching. As always, over 70% of people that watch my videos are not subscribed. So maybe check if you are. If you watch my videos regularly, you might be surprised to see that you aren't. And before we get into the video, just a quick word from my sponsor, AIO. AIO is a brand new technology that is AI-powered matchmaking that helps people try to find more people to play games with. If you've ever had that annoying thing where, say you want to raid in Destiny 2, but none of your boys are on, but the player finder websites are all bad, AIO helps to fix that via AI-powered matchmaking that actually match people's skill levels and behavioral traits, so you can spend less time looking for people and more time playing with people that make your gameplay more enjoyable. Click the link in the description to go to aiohub.gg and sign up for email updates. There's going to be a lot more exciting things with AIO in the coming future. And of course, thank you to AIO for sponsoring this video. Now onto the topic at hand, Battlefield 2042's gunplay, and how I believe they ruined it by, funnily enough, trying to fix it the correct way. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, I think everyone knew at a certain point that Battlefield 2042's gunplay was just able to reach out way too far. Getting 140-meter AR kills was simply stupid, and it really wasn't conducive to great gameplay because you couldn't really tell where you were getting shot from a lot of the time. The ranges were just too far. And naturally, the way to fix this would be to implement burst firing or making spread actually matter in the gunplay. Spread has always been in Battlefield 2042 gunplay, it just didn't really matter, and with the further addition of attachments that made weapons even more accurate, it only really made the gunplay problem worse. Weapons could reach out to even farther distances. Many of you will remember at the release of Battlefield 2042, guns couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. In fact, there was a long period of time where the PP Bison was realistically the only gun in the game that actually hit anything, and therefore everyone started using it until DICE patched some of the spread problems, and all of the guns started to be very accurate. Then they added attachments that made them even more accurate. Then they secretly doubled the damage ranges for every weapon in a sort of a secret TTK change, much like the ones they did in Battlefield 5. But except this time in Battlefield 2042, nobody really batted an eye, even though it happened. And this all created a massive problem. You were just dying from way too far away. So they tried very recently to remedy this issue via something that I suggested. I'm not saying they listened to me, I'm just saying that I have been calling for burst firing for quite a long time, and that is what they tried to do. But in my opinion, even though they did the right thing, they didn't execute it correctly, and they missed some major things about how Battlefield 2042's gunplay actually works, and they just didn't do that great of a job of it. The way bursting feels in Battlefield 2042 right now is, in my opinion, really bad, and it just makes gunplay feel way too inconsistent, and it also doesn't work like it's supposed to. For instance, in Battlefield 3 and 4, those of you that have played Battlefield 3 and 4 know that you had to burst fire in that gunplay, but it felt very different for two very important reasons. Reason number one is spread actually functioned differently in Battlefield 3 and 4. Battlefield 3 and 4, when you shoot a gun, say you shoot 5 bullets. Bullet 1 will give you, let's say, 0.1 spread, and then bullet 2, 0.2 spread, 0.3 spread, 0.4 spread, and so on and so forth. As soon as you stop shooting, it essentially, makes its way back down to 0, and you can feel that accuracy gain while you play the game. I.e., when you're shooting at someone and you go to burst fire, you can tell that when you bursted, you're more accurate now, you can tell that it reset, and it feels good. In Battlefield 2042, the spread functions completely differently, and when DICE actually went in to implement burst firing into Battlefield 2042, they didn't change how spread works in Battlefield 2042. So bursting just doesn't feel like it should. Now, the way spread in Battlefield 2042 works is it is both simultaneously increasing and decreasing while you're shooting. I know, that sounds stupid, and that's actually how it works. If you want bursting to feel like it should, you have to change how spread actually functions in your gunplay, and of course, DICE didn't bother to do that. Now, there was something else that DICE didn't bother to change, even though I believe they were on the right track in implementing burst firing. In Battlefield 2042, there was a hidden mechanic called IRMs, Initial Recoil Multipliers. Our friends over at sim.gg, the weapon stat people, have provided a very detailed explanation of this particular mechanic if you wish to go read that, but I will sum it up like this. Every single time you shoot the first 5 bullets of your weapon, you're basically going through these initial recoil multipliers. And every time you burst, you guessed it, you're resetting these multipliers. So every single time you go to burst fire, you are experiencing recoil that you don't experience for the first 5 bullets anymore. So you're essentially just giving yourself more recoil every time you burst, on top of the fact that spread doesn't reset properly, or how it did in previous Battlefield games. So the end result is DICE kind of made a classic DICE moment. They sort of had the right idea. They go ahead and try to implement it, and then they let themselves down with pretty awful execution. And now, in my opinion, the gunplay is actually just worse than it was before, even though they were successful technically in reducing the effective engagement distances. The problem is, they didn't do it in the best way so that it actually felt great. And in my opinion, I would actually prefer the old laser beam Battlefield 2042 gunplay just because it feels better. It's one of those things where if you aren't going to do it right, you probably shouldn't do it at all. So that is going to do it for this video, ladies and gentlemen. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Helps the channel out immensely, and the 50K subscriber special is on the way. All we have to do is hit 50,000 subs, so if you're not subscribed, consider subscribing. I'm going to be putting out videos on Delta Force, X Defiant, Modern Warfare 3, and basically any other game that I feel like making, because let's be honest with ourselves here, Battlefield 2042 is not exactly popping right now. And of course, be sure to check out AIO Hub in the link in the description. Sign up for their email list. I really think that could help a lot of people find players to play with. So thank you to AIO for sponsoring the video, and thank you guys for watching. Be sure to join the Discord, follow me on Twitter, and follow me on Twitch. All links are in the description. I'll see you guys later.